I'm turning, but my footwork's going in a circle now. It's still maintaining the correct balance. Make a big step like that, right? This is already, incorrect because the step is too far. And then if I step like this, and I'm step like this. So where you step and how far you step are very important. Now this is good footwork, right? Step, 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 forward, step, the other one follows it. Now that is a massive principle you should stick to. All right, good morning everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you for tuning in, really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers as always. Thanks to anybody new, welcome along, gratitude. This video, we're gonna be talking about some basic footwork tips for you, the beginner, right? I'm gonna go over some basic steps, a couple of little moves like a pivot, okay? Keep it quite simple and highlight some mistakes that you're probably making or to avoid, and how to get good, clean, efficient footwork, because it is the most important, second most important, top two thing in the whole sport. And for you to get good, efficient footwork quickly is actually quite simple, and it's gonna really elevate your game. So let's go. Okay, so I've made quite a few videos on footwork, and I'm going to continue to make a lot of videos on footwork, and as the channel develops, I'll get a bit more advanced so it can really help you, the beginner, understand how to develop your footwork and what makes really good footwork. Good footwork essentially is keeping it clean. I'm going to change the angle in a minute and show you. I know a lot of you have watched some of the videos. I appreciate that. I did a full, more detailed video on footwork. I will leave the link up here and in the description. I highly recommend you check that out. This is going to go over some of the same points, but it's more of a relaxed fashion, and I'm going to give you some pointers on how to practice as well. All right, it's a bit of a gloomy, rainy day here today. There's a bit of noise going on, so hopefully everything is as professional as possible. It's a big part of the channel, try to get good audio and have some nice lighting, but we can only work with what we got. But in terms of footwork, right, as always, a big part of footwork is actually getting a good stance. I'll talk about this in every video. I'll continue to do that for newcomers and welcome anybody new to the channel that has subscribed recently. There's been a lot of you, and I'm very grateful that you're here. Really appreciate it. And there's been a lot of questions that I'm trying to get to slowly, and I'm going to make videos. I've responded in the comments. I'll make videos for those as soon as I can. But getting a good stance is extremely important, right? Matter of fact, let me show you this right here really quickly, because there's a line right here. This is going to really help. You can see this line that goes here, right? This is actually a good way to get your stance. If you do have a line, either foot, this is called the center line in boxing, right? And either foot should be kind of outside of the line in its own little area. The front foot going forward, your back foot 45 degrees roughly. Get comfortable, right? Excuse the truck coming, but this will really help with your footwork, which is why I'm talking about the stance, because if you're starting off like this is going to be narrow, you're going to be fighting balance, right? If you're starting off like this, you're way too wide, and having good footwork is all about having good balance, right? Good balance and good, clean, efficient work. Let me wait for this truck to go and then I'll restart. If I'm going left, my left foot goes left, the other one follows it. Just like that. I'm in the same place again with a good balance and good stance, good base, and I'm ready to punch here, right? If I'm going back, step, the other one follows it, right? Forward, step, the other one follows it. Now that is a massive principle you should stick to when you're shadow boxing, when you're moving around. I'm gonna give you some practices in a minute and help you understand how you can actually start moving from sideways to start turning with your footwork, right? That's another step up, which is why I wanted to make this video, to get the basic principles, but slowly elevate it and slow you get you to understand and how you can actually apply it with your shadow boxing and start moving around and feeling comfortable and confident, right? But for those that didn't catch the first footwork drill, back, step back, same stance as I was when I was a foot forward. If I'm going forward, forward. And you should obviously keep your hands up. I'm just doing this for a drill right now. Step to the right, step back, left, forward. Now, a couple of mistakes. Let's get onto that right now. Now, I'm gonna be out of camera, but I wanna show you a little bit closer up so you have a really good idea of footwork and the mistakes. Now, this is good footwork, right? Step, 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 step. A couple of things you don't want to do, right? If I'm stepping like this, I don't want to bring my back foot so close like this. This is going to create balance issues, right? That's pretty obvious. If you end up here, you're actually going to be very compromised punching and very compromised from defending yourself. Why? Because you don't have a good stance and you're not balanced, and your weight isn't distributed, right? That's fairly obvious. Same for going back. If I make a big step like that, right, this is already, incorrect because the step is too far. And then if I step like this and I'm step like this, so where you step and how far you step are very important, right? Step like this. I want to keep my balance. You should be able to feel your balance. Very important. Another thing you should be mindful of is how you get from one place to the other, right? I don't want to be cumbersome. I'm trying to get there quickly, so when I can set my feet, I can do what I need to do, either punch or defend or have my solid foundation, right? So I don't want to be hopping around like this. Yes, there is a certain style that, that Soviet style that hops around like this. That's a different style. I didn't learn that, and I can't teach you that nor really talk about it. I can just talk about the basic classic boxing American style that I was taught. And just from a footwork point of view, you want to get from A to B as quickly and as stealthily as possible, right? Stealth is the key word. If I'm lifting my feet up like this, obviously this is not very stealth. And it's taking the longer times. If you're talking about milliseconds, the more milliseconds you take to get your foot landed, the longer it's going to have for you to be able to do what you need to do. So I want to get from here, or here, 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 right? Let's talk about a pivot, because that was another thing that is a basic part of footwork that's very important. Very important. The pivot is, I've done a couple of videos about this. If I have time, I'll definitely bring in some footage from a video that I made with a client and a friend of mine, Jeff. I always bring into the videos. He was, helping me out a little bit. Pivot on your front foot, right? You're going to use the ball of your foot. It helps to change angles. It helps to minimize footwork. It gets you in a better position. If I'm coming in aggressively to charge you, pivot, pivot. Better position. Front foot pivot has a lot of advantages. Very, very important, but very simple too. You're just going to use the ball of your foot to turn. I'm stepping here and I'm going to pivot. Now I've got my front foot facing you, because a pivot has a lot of uses. It really does, right? It can minimize your footwork, right? If my opponent's here, I can just pivot there rather than stepping. It's just, again, talking about milliseconds here. If I'm working on the inside, I can pivot here and get my shots off here, but that's a bit more advanced. But footwork and pivot, they go hand in hand, right? So if I'm like, facing off with my opponent here, and I can just pivot here, I get the angle. Pivot creates angles and minimizes footwork and gets you in positions that you need to be quicker, usually. It has more uses than that, but for now, how to pivot, you're just gonna do it on the ball of your foot. You're using the front ball of your foot to turn on it. Yep. Quick, swift movements on the ball of your foot. From here, I don't want to change angles. Pivot. My foot is still facing. Sometimes it's just a small amount. Sometimes it's a good 45 degrees. Sometimes it's 90. There we go. I'll zoom in again here. Ball of my foot, pivot left. You want to end up in the same place. I don't want to over pivot, right? This isn't a video about the pivot, but when you pivot, I don't want to do this, where it leaves me out of position, or pivot here, where I'm, when you pivot, I'll pivot here, I want to be bam, bam, pivot here. So just be mindful of keeping your footwork efficient, keeping it simple. Try to eliminate the mistakes that I spoke about, right? Make sure you're always in a good stance to punch. And actually, I'll show you right now how you can, I've already made a video about this, about where you have a cone here and I'm stepping around here. And if you look, my footwork's still good. I'm turning, but my footwork's going in a circle now. It's still maintaining the correct balance and the correct position. My feet aren't going too wild like this, I'm not doing this, keep it here. Good balance, you should feel it, right? Going backwards, and then you can pivot. See, that's how the pivot comes in play. If I need to get the quick angle and face my opponent quickly, and the pivot's there, boom, bam, right? So, yeah, basic principles of footwork again. Keep it simple, whatever direction you're going in. If I'm going back, the back leg goes backwards, the front leg goes forwards, the other foot follows it. Left, left, right, right. Don't get the feet close together, don't get them too wide apart. Keep your balance, keep your shape, and stay, you know, in a good stance, in a good position. Because if I'm out of position, as I said, you really disarm yourself. It's really bad. And pivoting, practice the pivot. Pivot left, pivot right. Don't over pivot. What I mean by over pivot is, if I'm pivoting left like this, I think I just showed you, it's a tendency, beginners have a tendency to go too far and bring their leg too far. And that'll again leave you out of position. So think about position when you think about footwork. Think about balance, think about keeping it simple. And then I'll bring in more nuances as the channel grows and do another video on this, because today was a little awkward, I'll be honest. There was a lot going on, there's dogs everywhere, there's trucks making noises, there's a guy on the baseball bat over there. It's kind of rainy, there's noises coming from up there. I did my best, but I wanted to be consistent and give you guys a video. Try to give one every day, and I do have some family in town, so I'm not going to be able to make as many this week. But yeah, I've got a busy week this week, but the goal is to really dress up these morning sessions and have daily tips for you guys. Teach you about self-discipline, motivation, help being your best, make all the videos that have been requested, comment on everybody that's reaching out, and you know, make sure that we're all doing the right thing for each other, you know what I mean? Because it's, at the end of the day, a big part of this channel isn't just about teaching boxing, but it's about leading by example, showing self-discipline, and help fighters, boxers learn the basics and then develop those basics into intermediate or advanced, because I can teach, you know, much higher levels of boxing, but I have focused on beginners because I was a beginner and I went through that myself. So I teach beginners, so I can show you clips from the gym with beginners. So it was a perfect kind of combination. But I just wanted to let you know, guys, I appreciate anyone that's locked in now. And you know, I'll try to get these videos as best as I can. Sometimes when I have, you know, different areas available, then I'll use those, because it's like sometimes this little space here is not quite adequate and there's a lot of noise. But for now, that's it from me. Thank you very much. Peace. My name's Henry. I teach boxing for beginners. If you like the video, smash the like button. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a lovely week.